How's it going, viewers? The Line Popsicle is, I can't remember what he said, but he's not here. He told me to start it on my own, which, it doesn't really make any sense because I don't think I can do anything on my own, especially bathe. Well, I'm not much of a monologue type of guy. Sometimes I do have, I sit on logs though, by myself, so that's kind of like a monologue, I guess. If you're like, if you don't know what the word means. Let's be honest, who does? I think this guy's supposed to give me a heart piece at some point in time, but he's not doing it, so that's a little bit disappointing. Maybe you guys can tell me if he is. Use your psychic abilities to figure out what I'm doing, and then use a time machine and come back in time and tell me somehow. Thanks, guys. See you in a bit. The Line Popsicle didn't want to talk anymore, so I thought we should do a podcast. And so that's what we're doing. I guess. I'll let him state otherwise if whatever.
Alright, hello. It's Line Popsicle. We're doing a podcast.
What do you think what's the definition of a podcast? I mean, do we fit the definition? Can we call it that? Are we going to be put in jail, or what's the deal?
Well, I think a podcast is just people talking, and then they broadcast it. It's
okay.
I don't know why it's called a podcast, though.
I think I do, and I think it's a stupid reason.
I mean, are we supposed to be in a pod or something when we do this?
I think it was like a broadcast for iPods, at the time of inception. And then they kind of like...
It came out when that movie came out?
It grew from there, yeah.
Wow.
Leonardo DiCaprio invented podcasts.
That reminds me, let me tell the viewers a story while I feel like it.
Okay.
Viewers, I had a dream. Shut up. I had a dream. And in this dream, wait, I can't remember it. I have to think about this for a bit.
Yeah. I bet it's a tricky one.
No, I got it. Okay, I had this dream, viewer. This is real. I'm not making this up. It was a few weeks ago, and I thought this is so one of the weirdest dreams I've ever had. Right. So what happened in the dream was I woke up, and
then the dream was over. Good story, man.
No, it's. I woke up and I was in bed, and I thought, oh, okay, I'm awake now.
Yeah, so this is Inception.
But the thing was, I wasn't. I was still dreaming. So I woke up from the dream in the dream, and but I dreamt I was in bed sleeping and dreaming, and so when I woke up, I thought I was awake, but I wasn't because I was still dreaming. So I laid in bed for a bit, in the dream. And then I was like, I guess I was trying to get back to sleep or something, right? Because I was like, I need to sleep more. But I was already asleep, so I couldn't get asleep again,
Mm-hmm.
But then I woke up again.
In the dream?
In the dream. So
weren't you already awake?
In the
Or you
dream
went
I
back?
was, but not in real life.
But did you go back to sleep in the dream, or did you just wake up again after already?
Well, I don't know if I fell asleep again. I think I just woke up again in the dream.
Okay, so you awoke from nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, anything.
So then I woke up in the dream again, and then I was in the living room, and I was in the chair, and I was like, whoa, what was I doing sleeping in the chair? How did I get down here? You know? And I'm like, I don't know how that happened. But then I was still asleep because I had woken up in the dream again. So, but I thought I was awake this time. Again, I thought I was awake. I thought I was awake the other time, too. And I started walking around. Things were a bit weird, right? And I think I might have realized at that point that it was a dream. And I was like, wait, I must be dreaming. And then I woke up.
Oh, not even.
Yeah, then I woke up again. But I was still not awake. I was still woke up again in the dream.
Oh, Jesus. But then did you know you were dreaming then?
I think I was starting to get the idea, you know? Because sometimes I realize it, you know?
So you had a dream. You had a Groundhog Day dream.
Well,
I've never seen the movie, but isn't that what happens?
it's not really the same as the movie, really. What happens in the movie is that he goes to sleep every night and he wakes up the next day and it's the same day again. And the exact same things happen that happened the previous day. But he's not asleep. It actually happens.
Right. Exactly. You had that, but you were in dream form.
Sort of, but it wasn't the same because I was in the living room one time I woke up. He's always in the same spot, and Sonny and Cher's I Got You Babe is always playing on his clock radio every time he wakes up. It's always the same time.
You're right, it's not the same.
Yeah. But eventually I did wake up, and I was like, for real. And I was like, that was a weird dream.
And then after you woke up from being awake, and now you're a Buddhist monk.
No.
Oh. Shucks. That would have been cool.
So that's what I wanted to share. So should we sign off the podcast now?
Yeah, I think that was a good one. So you had a dream about waking up several times.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I've had dreams before where I have trouble sleeping a lot. And I'll lay in bed for long periods of time, like hours, like trying to sleep. And sometimes I'll fall asleep, but I'll start dreaming that I'm still laying in bed, still trying to fall asleep. So I don't know if I'm asleep or not. And then sometimes when I wake up, I don't know if I was asleep or not.
Do you think we should, like, go ask a lady with crazy hair what that dream meant?
Could do it.
Yeah. Go downtown somewhere. There's probably some people down there that will have an explanation for you.
Yeah. I think I know a place. There's a mysticism bookstore in our city.
Perfect. That seems good. Let's go there.
It used to be by the comic book. Oh, am I supposed to say that?
You didn't, so it doesn't matter.
All right. If any girls want to, like, come and look for me.
Good segue.
You can do it. I mean, if you're good looking. I mean, if I think you're attractive, you have to be attractive to me.
Wow. This is weird.
So send me your picture first on this channel. Like, just link your picture in a message or whatever, or a comment. Say, look at my channel, my picture's on there. Anything like that.
It's like one-way online dating kind of.
And I'll tell you if I'm interested. Which
is, I mean, that's what online dating is for women, basically.
Yeah,
right?
Because I can never get anywhere.
You're just trying to flip this script.
But
anyway.
But I do. But actually, though, my girlfriend is Kat Dennings, and she's the best. Yeah. She's the best.
So before we get too pathetic, let's move on.
End the podcast?
No, let's try one other thing here.
Okay.
I want to get something on record.
I do actually have a lot of old vinyl records. I have the Angels, My Boyfriend's Back. That's a hard record to get, you know.
Yeah.
That's one of their only LP albums, so I'm really glad to have that.
Wow, good. I'm
So
glad.
I got that on record.
Do you have a working record player?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
I also have a cassette player, and I have a VCR, but it works, but it's not hooked up, though.
Yeah.
Don't have an 8-track anymore. Used to have one when I was a...
So we're just going to name all the antiquated technology.
Yeah, I used to have a reel-to-reel. Have you ever heard of those?
Well, I'm sure it has something to do with reels.
Yeah, they're like these big reels on this machine, and there's 2 of them, right? And like a cassette. If you've seen a cassette, and I don't know how many viewers have seen a cassette.
Aren't you just like describing like a projector?
Yeah, it's like a projector, but it's got
an old-fashioned one.
Yeah, it's got 2 big reels on a thing, but it doesn't look like a projector though. Speaking of that, I got a story about a projector that nobody will care about. This is really interesting to me. When I was in elementary school, they used to show the films on projectors, right? You know, even though I'm only 18, but they didn't have current equipment in the elementary.
Well, because it's Canada, dude.
Yeah, that's right. In Canada, in Canada, 2016 is kind of like 1975, basically.
I was going to say 1986, but...
1986, that was the year my girlfriend, Kat Dennings, was born.
Yeah.
So that was a good year.
Sure.
But anyway, they used to show these films to us on these projectors, right? And one of the films that they showed us was The Railrodder, starring Buster Keaton. Now, you know Buster Keaton's one of my favorite silent movie comedians, right?
Sure.
Him and Harold Lloyd. So I didn't know who he was at this time when I was a kid. And I was like, who's this old guy with a hat, you know, who just doesn't talk and does these things? And I thought, this is fascinating. And I was fascinated by it. It was in color, too. The movie was made in 1965, so it was one of his last movies around then. And it was made by the Canadian Film Board, the National Film Board. That's what it's called, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah, every Canadian knows this. So anyway, except for pants. So anyway, it's the film broke though. It broke while they were showing it. Now we saw it they showed it to us in the gymnasium. And it was fine, but then when a student teacher showed it to us in elementary school, it broke. And she felt, terrible, because she's like, I broke a classic movie. And, and I'm a student teacher, and I feel terrible. But the teacher said, no, it's okay, it's all right. That's my story.
That's like the one time, but nothing like it, when a friend of mine was moving the...
pianos?
The television. I don't know if you remember the mobile televisions, like they're on a cart and they have a VCR and stuff, you know. You wheel them into the classroom.
Oh, of course I do. What do you think I am? An idiot? Of course I know that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think you are.
That's a lot of pants. Real nice pants, you know that?
Yeah, my friend was moving one of those and he didn't do a very good job and it tipped over and fell on me.
Oh, wow. I'm kind of glad, actually, at this point.
Yeah, you should be. It was great.
Did it hurt?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't want you to be hurt. I just wanted you to just be...
You just wanted me to experience pain. Yeah, that's cool.
No,
hey,
I just,
I want to get something on record.
No, not really. I've got some vinyl records. I've also got Francois Hardy's first record on vinyl.
Okay, that's
good. That's pretty good. Kat mentioned Francois Hardy in her... in this little stupid commercial she did for Kate Spade, just dumbass. Okay. Anyway, I love my girlfriend. I just didn't like the commercial. Okay, so anyway, she...
It's not a commercial. I don't know what it is. You could call it an ad, maybe. It's not a commercial.
Okay, I'm gonna beat you up. Okay, so anyway,
well, you're gonna confuse the viewers. They're gonna think that it was like
everything.
A commercial.
Yeah, but it's like a long commercial. It's like in the gauze of a short, basically. It's well, if you know what a short is, I don't know.
But it's the main feature also.
Yeah. So anyway, that's right. That was clever. That was good, Johnny. So anyway,
Okay.
what?
Well, I don't know. Keep
Okay.
going.
So anyway, again, people are gonna think your name's Johnny, even though it's not.
It is.
Okay. So she mentioned Francois Hardy, and in the ad, she says, "Oh, my hair kind of looks like Francois Hardy, right?" And I thought,
Uh-huh.
did she know? Does she know who Francois Hardy is? Because I'd be surprised if she knew that. You know, you don't
Yeah.
know. Oh, do you? Yeah, actually, you do, don't you? Because I've told you.
Well, you told me that you have her on record 2 seconds
Yeah, and we
ago.
tried to
So,
record that song by her, but it didn't.
and also her name is Francoise, so she's probably a French
Right,
singer.
Francoise. So the thing is that, yeah, she's a famous French singer from the '60s. You know, '70s. One of my favorites, and a legend, right? But I don't think Kat would know who she was because I don't know how many Americans would know that, right? So I was just wondering if she knew who she was when she read that line in the script.
Again, and like last time, I think we want to clarify that you mean you don't think they would know because they're all stupid.
Also,
right?
she said Francois Hardy. She didn't say Francoise Hardy, which I think is the proper pronunciation, Francoise.
I
So I
wouldn't
think
know.
she pronounced her name wrong too. But I'm not sure. So any of our French viewers, let me know. It's Francoise if you're a girl, right? And Francois if you're a boy. Is that correct? Any French viewers? Because that's what I think it is.
I've never heard of a dude named Francois.
I have. It's a pretty common
Sounds
name.
French.
It's a pretty common male French name.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway, I want to get something on record. So tell me something about records, Ian.
Well, I was going to, but
Did you run out of things?
no. I have a few more records. But
I have a record in track and field for the...
I got a bunch of 45s. I don't know if the viewers will know what those are or not.
They're 45-minute long
No, they're
songs.
not.
They're 45-inch...
45 RPM, revolutions per minute, you know.
45 inches would be a
It's,
lot. Yeah.
you know, they're small
Yeah,
records.
that.
They have one song on one side, the A side, and they have a B side has the other, song on it.
Okay. That's
Anyway,
good.
what do you want to get on record?
I have this way to revolutionize female combat sports. And before anyone claims the idea, I want to put it on record. You know what I'm saying? You afraid to touch this one or what?
I'm just waiting for it. Let's just get to it.
Well, it occurred to me just now that I should probably double check the way that the rules in combat sports actually work in the first place. Because now I just don't know what the hell I'm talking about, right?
All right, should we go on a different subject?
Yeah, sure. That'll be a teaser.
I wasn't serious.
I was, though. The viewers can tell us if they want to hear about it someday. Or I can just say it now. It's like,
Why don't you just
no.
say it?
All right. Well, it's pretty complicated. So the idea is that, you see, female athletes, it's not exactly fair, especially in these combat sports, there's weight classes, right? You familiar with that?
Just keep talking.
You can just say yes. I mean, it's not that hard to do.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Featherweight, lightweight,
sure,
heavyweight, whatever.
But some women, through no fault of their own, just happen to have a large amount of useless body fat on them, that couldn't possibly contribute to them helping them win a fight, right? They're called boobs. Do you know about those?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's completely unfair for one girl with big boobs to be fighting another girl that doesn't have big boobs, right? That's not fair. The girl without big boobs has the clear advantage, and I for one won't stand for such a thing. I mean, I think it's not right. Anyway, so I invented the combat sports big bust handicap system. Do you want to hear about it?
Okay.
Why are you so hesitant?
I'm surprised by all this, but just okay.
You shouldn't be. Okay, so here's
I'm
what
surprised
you do.
that you're making this public and sharing this with the entire internet. That's what I'm surprised at.
Well, I don't want anyone to steal my idea. I'm sure I'm going to get paid.
All right, maybe I've heard of this already. It might have been one of my humor magazines. So let's go. I'll let you know
because I invented it. So basically, here's what
they
you
have
do.
a lot of inventions in those, you know.
In combat sports, for some reason, every round the judges score the round, and they always give the winner 10 points and the loser 9 for some reason. Then at the end of however many rounds the fight is, whoever has the most points wins. I think that's true. That's the part that I should have checked. I don't know if that's
Random
true.
gratuitous sounds!
Very nice. And you can also lose points for, like, you know, kicking your opponent in the groin, for example. Then you just lose a point. But I guess women can't do that. But I don't know. Maybe they can lose points for pulling hair or something. Anyway, so what you do is you take the two contestants and you take their bra sizes, right? And basically, you know, A counts as 1, B counts as 2, C counts as 3, D counts as 4, so on. You take the difference between their bra size. So let's say it's 4, that's a big difference. I guess that's like an A and an E, I guess, right? Anyway, and then you take that number, and this is really important. These numbers are picked very carefully. You take that number, you multiply it by 24, then you multiply that by the number of rounds in the fight. And then you divide that by 45 times pi. And then you round that number, and whatever that number comes out to is the handicap that the big boobed fighter gets. So the other fighter needs to beat her by at least that many points to win the fight. When it goes to judgment or whatever the hell they call it. If she just wins by a knockout or something, then she wins as normal. But when it goes to the scorecards, she's got to make up that difference. I think that sounds fair. And, maybe more people would care, What do you think?
Okay.
I feel like this could be applied to all sports, too. I mean, I think that this could probably improve soccer or football if you're from the other side of the pond. What else? Could probably improve softball. All those nice women's sports. No comments?
I asked the Mexican runner. If you don't know who the Mexican runner is, viewers, he's a guy in Twitch, on Twitch TV that's trying to beat every Nintendo game ever made. And he's doing a great job. He's amazing.
Oh, is he the guy that accidentally showed his package on, and then he got banned?
No, that was a woman, and that was, not him. Because he's a guy, and he's not that woman. But anyway, you should go check him out, viewers, because he's trying to beat all the games. It's really great. It's fascinating. It's a great entertainment. Anyway.
What do you think the odds are that there's anyone listening that doesn't know that already?
I asked...
Since you tell them, like, every single
This
time.
is my comment on Pants' story, by the way, in case you're wondering how this is related.
Yeah, I was wondering. I thought you were that was your way of saying no.
No, this is my comment on it. I asked the Mexican runners, I asked him one day recently when he was playing a pool game. I said, what are your favorite sports? And he said, oh, what are my favorite sports? And he was thinking about that. And he said, well, Tom Smith, I mean, lime popsicle. Well, I said both because, you know.
Yeah.
I've got both names when I'm in the Twitch thing talking to him. So anyway, he said, well, you know, football. And he said, well, that would be soccer, you know, soccer in the, to you, you know, people. And I mean, that's not a surprise, right? I mean, soccer is very popular in most parts of the world.
Yeah.
And he said, that was a while ago. I kind of forget now. He said swimming.
That's
He said
weird.
swimming. He said is his favorite to participate in.
Oh, okay. Now it makes sense.
And
but it probably doesn't count the way he does it. I mean, I doubt he's doing laps when he's swimming. Maybe he does. I don't know.
Yeah. And soccer, football, or he said soccer, right? And he said figure skating, which is great because that's one of the ones that I like. I mean, I don't like sports, but figure skating is pretty cool. I mean, I like ballet, so, you know, it's like, that's kind of like ballet in a way, right? On ice.
Ballet on ice, that's exactly what it is.
So I thought that was cool that he mentioned that, and it was cool. So that's it.
Dude, I didn't know that they knew what ice was in Mexico.
Oh, and he said he likes watching the Olympics because, you know, all the different types of sports there. So that's cool. That's my comment on your story.
Because it's sports?
Yep. That's my sports contribution for you.
Well, I bet you he would have said, you know, some sort of combat sport had this system been in place at the time. That's my guess. Yeah, it's going to change the world. You just wait. You know, we've got to get... Don't you just feel bad for all those poor little girls out there with big boobs that can't play sports?
Because, you know, like Alyssa Milano said, you know, when Tony Danza said, do you want to go out and play some football? And she said, well, Dad, you know, it kind of hurts when I catch the ball. And he's like, why? She says, because, you know. And then, you know, Angela had to say, well, because she's developing, you know. And he said, oh, really? Hey, oh, wait. When did you do that, you know? And then he had to go out and buy her a training bra, and he had no idea what to do. It was a pretty funny episode.
It's totally weird. You can also catch the ball with your hands if you want to. You don't need to use your
Obviously,
chest.
she was very young in that episode. She's just a kid in that episode. But that was a pretty good show. Who's the boss? Yeah.
Good story, man.
I like my favorite sitcoms though are Head of the Class and Growing Pains.
All right. That's great.
Well, thanks. Okay.
My favorite types of wood are balsa and cherry. So what's next? What's next?
So, you know, I would say when I do that little accent thing, when I'm doing the Mexican runner kind of thing there, it's because I love his accent. I'm not trying to make fun of him. I just love it. I just want you guys to know that. It's such a cool accent he has. I really think it's cool.
Yeah. All right, that's good. Do you think, have we gone far enough yet?
Oh, we got 2 minutes left for this podcast.
Based on what
3
metric?
minutes. I don't know, because it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning.
I see.
So it seems like a good time to stop. So anybody, if you have any in the comments, hey, I got an idea. This is the participation part of the podcast. So first of all, everybody can just write about anything they want. I mean, you can write about anything we've said. You can write about his boring story. You can write about my stories. And here's and this is another thing I'd like you to do. All right. Maybe they thought yours was the only interesting story. Who knows? Right?
Well, it's got to be way more interesting than your "Who's the Boss" story.
So anyway, viewers, what I want you to do is if you ask me questions about Kat Dennings, my girlfriend, and then I'll answer them.
Wow, that's...
So anything you want to know about her, just ask me, and I'll let you know. Unless it's, unless it's something, within reason, all right?
If it's not in reason, I'll answer.
Keep it clean, viewers. Just keep it clean, okay?
I was gonna tell the dude that told us to make this. I was gonna say, that's for you, but his name is M, and then some symbol in some other language.
Like Prince, basically.
So,
Prince, when he was not Prince and he was some symbol. Remember that?
Maybe I can call him M symbol.
The artist formerly known as Prince.
Yeah.
That's a question, actually. He used to be... His first name, I don't know what it was. It's probably like Morris Greenbaum or something, right? I don't know what
his first name was probably two names, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what his name was, but he changed his name to Prince, right? And then he decided he didn't want to be Prince anymore at some point after his popularity disappeared, right? And he's like, now I'm a symbol, right? So you had to put the symbol, like in the record stores. If you went in the record stores, you'd see like a symbol there, and you'd be, that's who that is.
So, alphabetically, was it first or last?
I guess it'd probably be first. I don't know where else it would be, right? I mean, and you couldn't pronounce it. You couldn't pronounce it. It was unpronounceable. That's the whole thing. It was unpronounceable, right? And when he did that, everybody was saying, "What a egotistical guy this guy is,"
Yeah, it seems a little bit like that.
And, people, you get a lot of flack for that, obviously. It's a weird thing to do. Pretty weird thing to do, right?
Sure.
So, but then eventually, I guess he got tired of people not being able to say his name. I don't even know what they did, how they introduced him or anything. I have no clue, right?
Yeah.
Here's this person, he's on a show. Like, what did people say? I have no clue, right? So he started calling himself the artist formerly known as Prince. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Is that what he, did he ever go back to just Prince, or was he always the artist formerly known as?
I have no idea.
That's my question.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's it. I was curious about that.
Are you really, though?
Not really, but...
Yeah, I'd be shocked.
Interesting story, though.
Yeah, it's something.
And of course, when 1999 came around, he became sort of popular again for a little while.
Yeah. Well, he tried to party like
that's why, because he had that song that was popular in the 80s, right? It was the 80s, that song, probably? Must have been. Weren't all his songs popular in the 80s? Didn't he kind of just fade out after that?
I was always under the impression that all of his songs were popular never.
No, in the 80s he was really popular for a while. In the mid-80s.
I didn't know that.
Like Purple Rain, that was huge. Yeah, and he starred in a movie. I don't know if you know that, called Purple Rain. Do you know that?
Yeah.
And the critics said it was egotistical.
Well,
they said it was
a
vanity project, basically, But, the thing I like about Prince, everybody says, oh, Prince is so amazing, he's a legend and all that kind of stuff. Whatever. I mean, I don't like modern music, right? And, I mean, that's not modern, but I don't like that either.
Not modern at all.
To me it is, though, because my music is from the 60s and 50s and before that, so, most of it, and with some exceptions. So, anyway,
something's happening with your milk.
Yeah, I got my hand in front of it. I'm just bored.
It's like you're not opening.
Yeah, I know. I'm not trying very hard. So anyway, now I forget.
Oh well,
he was in the movie. I saw. Oh, there's one thing I liked that Prince did that I really liked. And that is, he wrote Manic Monday for the Bangles.
Did
And that's one of my favorite 80s songs. You know, viewers, I like the Bangles. And I did if you want to hear me sing Manic Monday, search for it on our channel, because I did it. And it's great. It's one of my favorite ones. So go listen to that. I don't know if it's one of the best ones, but it's pretty cool, though. I liked it. Some guy made a playlist of what he thought were my best songs on his channel. I thought that was really cool. I just stumbled across it.
Did it make the
I
cut?
think it did. He was picking pretty well, too. He was picking ones that were better, too. So he was doing a good job of picking them. Got a good ear, that guy. So, guys, you want to hear me do Manic Monday? And I put Kat Denning's name into the song. Go listen to that. Also, listen to my impersonations of Elvis Presley, because I really like those. Especially Blue Christmas. Listen to that one. That was my favorite one I did Elvis in. And my Johnny Cash, Ways of a Woman in Love. Listen to that. I like that one a lot. That's one of my favorite ones I did too. You know what my favorite LP I ever did was? I should probably just stop talking.
That'd be for the best.
All right.
Are we done?
I'm done. People are going to say, what's your favorite LP? They're listening.
Tell them.
Nah, I don't know what it is. I'll see you guys later. Pants? They sound mean.
Later.
Have love.
Sure.
Talking to them.
So
well,
am
you
I.
can too, though.
Thanks for the consideration.
And me.
Give it a shot.
And it is fun to see it live, so do that.
Yeah, what's the other advice?
Yeah, don't throw your friends and family in the garbage.
Right, that's what it was, yeah.
That's a personal thing with pants, but, it's a whole other story. I had to tell him that, because, well, it's a whole story.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I did say all right, though, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah.
you learned.
So, problem solved, yeah. All right. We'll just peter out here.
See you guys and girls.
Men and women.
Children and senior citizens.
Cats and dogs.
Actors and royal family.
Especially cats.